you have to pay it. You have to pay what a genius Scott Morrison is. And if you don't pay it, I can't do anything because I am just on a screen and I don't know you. But I think that you should, because you can learn something from that man. What he is currently doing, in fact, what he did in the previous election was also genius. He obviously knows that he's a not particularly liked human being. I mean, you'd have to when there was a bunch of people signing a petition saying, for his high school reunion, can you please not show up? That's gotta hurt. It doesn't seem to hurt him. That's the amazing thing about it. You just tell me a piece of shit, yeah, no, man, you gonna vote for me? Strangely will. So what is that? What is it's an incredible phenomenon. I have never seen it in politics before. He is not pretending that he is a great, concerned father figure that knows how to get their job done, and you might not like getting spanked on the bum, but getting spanked on the bum's good for their country. He's not doing that. He's doing the exact opposite. He is leaning into the image being, I'm a shifty cunt, you gonna do something about it? No, you're not gonna do anything. Can't live with me, can't live without me. Hey, well, what are you gonna do? Being upfront about it. There's two things that he's doing there, which is great. He's obviously come back, and the two things that you always hear people say about Scott Morrison is shifty and shit cunt. Think about it. You go to the pub, every time he's on, all the Aussies, oh, not this guy, he sucks. That's the view of him. The view is he sucks, and may I say, very accurate indeed. That was the thing that I was originally most infuriated about Scott Morrison. 1 second, sorry. This is very unprofessional, I know, but what is professional about this channel? Absolutely nothing. A little Tom Jones impression for you. Eh? Were you expecting that? No, you weren't. I haven't thought about Tom Jones in a long time. Is he still alive? Google that in your own time. Scott Morrison is doing the best move, which is obviously leaning into the less harmful part, which is bit of a dork, pathetic, incompetent. You can forgive incompetence. You can't forgive shiftiness. There is one I say it all the time on this channel, don't I? The thing that will deteriorate human relationships more than anything else is a breakdown in trust. As soon as someone feels like they can't trust someone else, that's the end. That's why all of his enemies, like the Labor Party, for instance, their game. Obviously, everybody has it. They've obviously thought, yes, this is the way to hit him, and it's the way to hit him is he's shifty. You can't trust him. Nothing is more damaging to someone. I suppose also in politics, though, there is that idea that they're supposed to be duplicitous, so it's actually less damaging to a politician, ironically. But Scott Morrison is going for it. No, I'm not shifty. I'm just a shit can. Yeah, that's me. And that is what has gotten him up in his life. I've told you this before. I have, haven't I? Not here before. I'm sorry, I'll stop saying it like a mum. I already said this. Why are you saying it again, Mum? Why are you saying it again? Well, that's my own inner demons talking there. On the main channel, I've pointed out that there has been Liberal politicians that say he's dangerously intelligent. He's clearly the smartest person there, but it takes you a long time to figure it out, because for a long time you think he's a dud. But that's part of the deception. It's not really part of the deception because he is that, but he is clearly a very intelligent human being. And so what he does is highlight, nah, I'm just a dork, I'm just a shit cunt, don't worry about me, old Scotty, which is exactly how he got there in the first place, by stabbing people, doing the numbers. He was doing all of that, and he was seen as such a little threat by enough of the caucus and anyone but Peter Dutton, so they moved into him, right? He's good at that. That is truly his skill in life. It's why he's such a good bureaucrat. Because in a true hierarchy like a bureaucracy, the way that you would move up, I would imagine, is probably showing people that I'm no threat to you. I'm not going to backstab you and move up, which is exactly how he's moved up his entire life. But look, the genius of this, and this is how you apply this to your life. So pay attention to this. I had probably thinking, yeah, what is it? Well, I'll tell you, all right, to stop being so impatient. I've got feelings too. And my feelings are, I feel like telling you this. I wants you to pay attention to what's working there. This man is a genius in marketing. He knows how to sell a product. Well, actually, he doesn't. He fucked up selling Australia, but he's obviously learned something. In his years of marketing, he has learned that when you've got a product, be honest about the product. Highlight the product. 2, advertising. There's many, many ads that you see in a day. I can't even remember. The stats are terrifying. Something like 60,000 ads in a day. I can't remember. A lot of ads. You see a lot of ads in a day. There's 2 ad campaigns that really stick out to me. Deliciously Ugly was the picnic one. What are they doing there? They're leaning into the fact that their product is disgusting to look at. It looks like a nutty turd, if I'm to be frank. And so they're saying, yeah, it's a gross turd. Eat it. You go, okay. Strange how that works, right? The other one is, and this is the true genius one, I think, was Domino's admitting that their pizzas suck. I don't think that, but then again, I have a 5-year-old palate taste when it comes to pizza. I'm like, oh, sick, ham pineapple. Oh, this thing is crispy. I don't like it too, though. I don't want to chew my mouth. So I have a little baby's taste, and so I really like Pizza Hut and Domino's, but the average person hates it. And I will admit this, even with my Philistine palate, the pizzas are better at Domino's. I had it the other day. I was like, why the fuck does a Pizza Hut pizza cost $20 and a Domino's pizza costs $5? In fact, that's another video in itself. It's outrageous. But it's cheaper and it's better. But do you remember that advertising campaign where they said, we've heard your complaints and we've decided that, yeah, our pizza does suck. Fair enough. That's actually what got me going back to Domino's again, out of Pizza Hut. I swear to God, when I look back at my life choices, it's pathetic that I can remember that, but I can. I remember thinking, yeah, all right, I'll give him another go. There's something about being upfront. There really is. I suppose it's also this thing of like being self-aware enough to know what you are. Now, when this all ties in, you know what happens when casting directors are hiring people to act. It's fascinating. What they're looking for is they get a little brief description of what the character is, and this just goes into cognitive bias, and there's a genius few acting coaches that have figured this out, and by a few, actually heaps of them have figured it out. But, okay, you've probably seen that shitty remake of The Room that everyone's like, no, it was actually really good. I don't think it was, but you've seen it, right? And then there was a point where Tommy was saying, I want to be a hero. And they were saying, you're not a hero, you're a villain. You look like a villain. That's what you should be going for. That is how people are cast. They are not looking for their acting abilities. They are looking for, does this person's face elicit who we think they are deep down? Because human beings just want to make decisions like that. They want to exert as little energy as possible. And the other thing as well, they get very angry when they're wrong. So if you're saying, actually, I'm a really good person, people will be like, nah, you're shit. Actually, nah, fuck you, you shit. It's just how the human brain works. The human brain wants to exert as little energy as possible, and so human beings look at other human beings' faces and they think, you're that. And you get rewarded for playing that personality. This is why it ties into acting. So, my girlfriend, it is very Ben Shapiro of me. Yes, you're right to point it out that I'm always being like, my girlfriend's an actor. But she is. What does she always cast for? She's got an extremely sharp face, Asian. So she's got an Asian sharp face. What does she always cast for? She's always cast for a nerd. She's always cast for somebody who's an extremely competent, something like a military officer or works in the government. Sharp face. So she looks like adroit and good at her job and, catch the crap. It's got that kind of face. Me, I think I have a bitchy gay man face. And you will notice this, that when I am on stage, every time, and also my entire channel, what am I rewarded for in my humour? I wish that I was rewarded for your playful Hamish and Andy. Let's all just laugh about building a paper cup tower and then it fell down. Oh my God, who'd expect that? I wish that I could do that. I really do. Don't have the face for it. I swear to God, this is what you also learn when you're a comedian, that you are playing into... Comedians is sort of actually it's halfway between a character and yourself, because you have to highlight yourself a little bit more because you're on stage. But what you notice is that when you play into the side of yourself that other people immediately register, you've got yourself a shortcut to laughs. So for me, The biggest laughs that I always get are bitchy laughs. Bitchy gay man laughs. That's what I get. That's the ones that always bring the house down. And it is because you really are just rewarding what people think in their head of bitchy gay man when they look at you, right? And it's the same thing when they look at my girlfriend. She is getting rewarded for I do really hard work and I don't have time to talk and I don't have many feelings. Like she gets those roles constantly. That's what she's always, an assassin, something sharp, mean-spirited, nerdy maybe, but nerd that is competent and good at their job, not geek nerd, right? Alpha nerd, as it's called on the net. How does that relate to you? That's what you should be thinking about. How do people peg you? What are the traits that when you display them, you get rewarded for them? That is obviously what Scott Morrison has identified in himself because he is a genius marketer, and that is marketing 101. When you've got a product, be upfront about the product. Yeah? Actually, if you think about it, Scott Morrison looks daggy. Yeah? So he's the daggy dad. He's not daggy. You can see it in his eyes. He's actually extremely smart. He does answer questions, despite what people will be like, you fucking joke. He answers questions quite well, I have to say. You can see his eyes processing things extremely quickly. He is a very intelligent man. But people look at him and think, shit cunt. So he plays into shit cunt. So anyway, that's what I want you to write down. I also want you to sign up to Jordan Shanks because you will have information like that. You thought that was good. You haven't seen nothing yet. You really haven't if you signed up. You really haven't. I've got things that'll make you 100% better than what you are. 100 minimum guarantee. And if it doesn't, you can just sign off anytime. That's the whole thing. It's not that big of an investment. It's not that big of a deal. But once you're on, you're going to stay on there. Trust me. I was looking at my Patreon retention rates the other day. They are through the roof. And the reason they are is because people see the value of that getting reinvested in themselves. At the end of every stand-up show, you know what I always see? I see a bunch of fat losers that come up and go, I've got some suggestions about you and nuclear power. But then I also have a bunch of well-shaved, well-groomed boys, nice and fit, that come up to me and say, big fan of the Self-Help channel, mate. And they're always going somewhere in life. And it is because they see the value in it. Do you see the value in it? No? Well, too bad for you. It's an exclusive club and you're not invited. So I'm playing with the bitchy gay man. All right, anyway, I'll see you around. Sorry.